You've seen the headlines, heard the gym bro warnings. Soy will tank your testosterone. It'll give you man boobs. It's feminizing men. For decades, this little bean has been demonized, painted as the ultimate enemy of masculinity. You've probably seen someone at a coffee shop sheepishly order oat milk instead of soy, almost as if they were protecting themselves from some invisible hormonal threat. But what if this widespread fear, this advice you've been following to avoid soy at all costs, is not just wrong, but is actually preventing you from accessing a powerful and healthy food source? What if the villain in this story isn't the soybean but the myth itself? By the end of this video, you will understand the real science of soy, phytoestrogens, and your hormones. More importantly, you'll have a clear, evidence-based protocol for how to incorporate soy into your diet safely and effectively, whether you're a man concerned about testosterone or a woman concerned about breast cancer risk. You'll leave knowing how to separate scientific fact from fitness fiction. Welcome to The Better Habit, where we use science to fix your daily routine and challenge the advice you thought you knew. So, how do we get here? How did a humble legume, a staple in Asian diets for thousands of years, become the boogeyman of the Western fitness world? The story of the soy myth begins in the 1990s with the discovery of compounds in soy called isoflavones. Scientists found that these isoflavones, which belong to a class of plant compounds called phytoestrogens, could bind to estrogen receptors in the body. The logic seems simple, almost too simple. Phyto means plant. Estrogen is the primary female sex hormone. Therefore, plant estrogens must act like human estrogen, and for men that must be a bad thing. This simplistic idea exploded online. It was a perfect storm. The burgeoning internet forum culture, particularly in bodybuilding circles, thrives on black and white rules. This is good, that is bad. Soy became an easy target. Anecdotal reports started popping up. A guy would claim he developed gynecomastia, or man boobs, and blame the soy milk in his lattes. These stories, completely unverified, were amplified and repeated until they became accepted as fact. The narrative was just too compelling, a feminizing chemical hiding in a healthy food. This fear was further fueled by a few highly unusual case studies. For example, one widely cited report involved a man who developed gynecomastia, but it failed to mention he was drinking 3 quarts, that's nearly 3 liters of soy milk every single day. The dose makes the poison, and these extreme outlier cases were presented as the norm. This is how a scientific observation that soy contains phytoestrogens morphed into a pervasive and damaging myth that has scared millions away from a perfectly healthy food. To truly understand why this myth is wrong, we need to have a quick science class. Let's meet the key characters in our body's hormonal drama. First, you have your estrogen receptors. Think of these receptors like locks on a cell's door. Hormones like estrogen are the keys. When the right key, human estrogen, fits into the lock, it opens the door and sends a powerful signal to the cell, telling it what to do, for example, to grow or divide. Now, enter our controversial character, the soy isoflavone or phytoestrogen. Let's use an analogy. Imagine your front door lock is the estrogen receptor. Your house key is real, powerful human estrogen. It fits perfectly, turns smoothly, and unlocks the door with full effect. A phytoestrogen, on the other hand, is like a poorly cut, flimsy copy of that key. It can fit into the lock, but it doesn't turn it very well. It's wobbly. In fact, by being stuck in the lock, it often blocks your real, powerful house key from getting in. This is a crucial point. Phytoestrogens are what we call selective estrogen receptor modulators, or SERMs. They don't just mimic estrogen. They can also block it. In tissues with high levels of estrogen, like certain breast tissues, phytoestrogens can actually have an anti-estrogenic effect by taking up space on the receptors and preventing the more powerful human estrogen from binding. In tissues with low estrogen, they might exert a very weak estrogenic effect. This is why calling them plant estrogens is so misleading. They are not estrogen. They are hormonal modulators, and their effect is thousands of times weaker than the body's own estrogen. So, when you consume soy, you aren't flooding your body with a powerful female hormone. You're introducing a weak modulator that competes with your own hormones, often with a net balancing or even anti-estrogenic effect. The scientific community didn't just stop at the mechanism. They put it to the test. For years, researchers have been studying the real-world effects of soy consumption, and the evidence is overwhelming. Let's put the man boob myth to bed first. In 2010, a landmark meta-analysis was published in the journal Fertility and Sterility. This wasn't just one study. The researchers gathered data from over 30 high-quality human clinical trials. They looked at men who were given soy protein or isoflavone supplements, often in amounts far greater than what a person would normally eat. The conclusion was crystal clear. Soy consumption does not decrease testosterone levels in men. It had no effect on total testosterone, free testosterone, or any other reproductive hormone measured. The fear that soy will feminize men is, according to the vast body of scientific literature, completely unfounded. But what about women and breast cancer? This is where the story gets even more interesting. Because phytoestrogens can block the effects of stronger human estrogen in breast tissue, scientists hypothesized that soy might actually be protective. A massive 2017 study published in the journal Cancer followed over 6,000 women with breast cancer. They found that women who consumed the most soy isoflavones had a 21% lower risk of mortality compared to those who consumed the least. The science has shifted from fearing soy to investigating its powerful protective benefits. So the evidence is clear, but how do you apply this to your own life? Let's build the perfect protocol for incorporating soy into your diet, moving beyond the myths and focusing on the science. We're not just talking about a single tip. This is a routine for harnessing the benefits of soy safely and effectively. First, focus on whole or minimally processed soy foods. This is your foundation. Think edamame, tofu, tempeh, and unsweetened soy milk. These forms deliver the isoflavones packaged with fiber, protein, and other micronutrients, which is how they have been consumed for centuries in populations with excellent health outcomes. A good target for reaping the benefits without going overboard is 1 to 3 servings per day. What does a serving look like? It could be 1 cup of soy milk, a half cup of tofu or tempeh, or a half cup of edamame. For most people, this is the sweet spot. Step 2 is to be mindful of ultra-processed soy. This is where the nuance comes in. While whole soy foods are fantastic, you should be cautious with soy protein isolate. This is the powdered, stripped-down version of soy you'll find in many protein bars, vegan meat substitutes, and protein shakes. While it's not inherently bad, it lacks the synergistic components of whole soy and provides a highly concentrated dose of isoflavones without the fiber. Think of it like this. Eating an orange is great. Drinking a gallon of orange juice is not. For your protein powder, it might be wise to diversify your sources, perhaps rotate between whey, casein, pea, and occasionally, a high-quality soy isolate rather than relying on it exclusively. For night shift workers or those with irregular schedules, keeping some high-quality tofu or pre-cooked edamame in the fridge is a fantastic, simple way to get a complete protein meal without much prep. The goal here isn't extremism. It's integration. You don't need to eat soy at every meal, but you absolutely do not need to fear it. Let's recap what we've learned. First, the idea that soy feminizes men is a myth, born from a misunderstanding of biology and amplified by internet anecdotes. The highest quality scientific evidence, including dozens of human trials, shows that soy does not lower testosterone. Second, soy phytoestrogens are not the same as human estrogen. They are weak hormonal modulators that can actually block stronger estrogen in certain tissues, which is why they are studied for their protective effects. Their effect is thousands of times weaker than your body's own hormones. And third, the key to incorporating soy is to focus on 1 to 3 daily servings of whole or minimally processed forms like tofu, tempeh, and edamame, while being mindful of overconsuming highly concentrated soy isolates. You have the power to take control of your own biology, and the first step is to arm yourself with science, not fear. By understanding how things actually work inside your body, you can tune out the noise and build habits that truly serve your health. You can reject the myths and embrace the evidence. If this video helped you clear up confusion about nutrition, subscribe to the channel. We're all about giving you the scientific tools to optimize your health. And if you're interested in debunking another major health myth, check out our next video on whether artificial sweeteners are actually bad for you. Thanks for watching.